Hello guys. Okay, today we are going to discuss about more about ServiceNow basics. So we're going to discuss what is meant by ServiceNow and what is meant by ITSM and what is meant by instance. Okay, and we'll be creating one PDI, personal developer instance, where we can practice, learn on day-to-day basis more about ServiceNow. Okay, so here we need not to install any kind of softwares in our local machine, okay, in our laptop. So everything whatever we are going to do, we are going to do in the ServiceNow cloud itself. Okay, all we need is like a good laptop and a good laptop and a good internet connection. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by ServiceNow? Okay, ServiceNow. So ServiceNow, it is a cloud-based platform which is used to automate business workflows. Okay, it's a cloud-based platform which is used to automate business workflows. Okay. Connecting different systems and different departments. Different systems and departments in an organization. Okay, so ServiceNow is a cloud-based platform. So it's a cloud. Everyone knows what is meant by cloud, right? So it's a cloud-based platform. All the applications which we are running in ServiceNow are purely cloud. Okay, you need not to install any softwares in your system, okay, or in your server. So everything, whatever you do, you will be getting a personal developer instance. Suppose if you are going to take a subscription, you know, paid subscription for ServiceNow, each and every organization will be getting a separate instance, okay, from them. So it's a cloud-based platform, okay, which automates business workflows. So let's say what is meant by business workflows in an organization. On day to day we have lot of activities going on, right? So let's say for example, in a company there are thousands of employees, so you cannot track them each and everyone what's going on, their login times, okay. And suppose if they have any issues, if they have any problems or incidents, like network is not working, they are unable to connect to the VPN, you know so you cannot track them and get resolved manually for each and everyone, right? So definitely we need an ticketing tool where we can raise the tickets, and once the ticket has been raised, it will be diverted, connected with the concerned department. That concerned department looks into the issues, into the incidents, into the problems, and they can get it resolved, right? So this is where ServiceNow comes into the picture. Okay, earlier it is mainly used for service management, and it has been evolved, and a lot of modules has been integrated like operations management, HRSD, customer relationship management, and sales management, asset management. So a lot of things has been integrated, modules has been integrated. So uh, if you want to access all these applications, we need to buy from the service now. If your company is looking for HRSD module in order to automate the HR operations, then you should go and purchase the HRSD module from the service now. Then you will be able to access it. But when it comes to the PDI, personal developer instance, all the modules are free where we can go ahead and practice. So ServiceNow is providing us for free where we can learn on day-to-day basis and practice it, without disturbing the production servers. Okay. So today we will be discussing about how to create the personal developer instance and everything. So this is the main part of ServiceNow to automate the business workflows. Okay, so I'll give an example as most of the people are looking for new job opportunities. So let's say in a company. A hiring manager is hiring. Okay, a hiring manager is hiring a ServiceNow developer, right? So he needs to get lot of approvals. Okay, there is a lot of process to onboard a new employee into an organization where a lot of documents needs to be taken care, and a lot of compliance will be there. Okay, so first of all, the hiring manager, creates a requisition ID, and this requisition ID will be given to the concerned HR department or recruiting team. So where these guys go into the job market, they source the candidates on day-to-day basis, and they schedule interviews. Okay. So once the interview has been scheduled, if they clear the interviews, they conduct a background check verification. Most of the companies, they go for some third party background check verifications. Once this background check verification has been completed, and they try to onboard the employee, and they who takes care of all these things generally, a HR department takes care for onboarding and all these things, right? So, and these HR department, the concerned HR, I mean, they again need to take approval when would be the start date and which project we are going to deploy the candidate. Okay, and what are the accessories that we need to give, like a laptop or mouse or bag, or else, if you are working for any clients, do we need to provide any web camera, and what are, one second guys. Okay, so once the candidate has been joined, we need to check, like, okay, what are the accesses, which VPN would should we give to the candidate, and they need to get all these approvals, right? So we generally use the HRSD module. Okay, here. Once everything is given to the candidate starts working, right? And suddenly he faces an issue, and his laptop doesn't get connected to the VPN. Okay, he cannot directly go and speak with the manager or the team, like, hey, my laptop is not working. The manager cannot do anything. He will straight away say, what should I do? Right? So there would be a concerned department where you need to raise the ticket, and this ticket will be resolved by the concerned networking department. They look like, okay, if the laptop has any problem, or else, like, do we need to replace the laptop, or else do we need to install any kind of softwares in the laptop to make sure it's working properly. Once it is done, then the ticket will be resolved. So this is nothing but ITSM. you know in ITSM we will be discussing more about these kind of things, like incident management. What is meant by incident management, and what is meant by service management, what is meant by knowledge management, change management, problem management, service catalog. So all these things comes under the ITSM module. So ITSM is the core module in ServiceNow. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, it's a cloud-based platform which is used to automate all the business workflows, which are, you know, hiring manager, he might be from the IT department, right? The HR comes from the HR department. So all these departments, will be integrated, will be connected, right? So by using this service now, all the departments can be connected together and make the business workflow easily, you know. So this is the main use of the service now. Okay, and what is one more thing we need to learn is instance. Okay, what is meant by instance? So instance is nothing but a isolated copy of service now. Okay, it's nothing but an isolated copy of service now. Okay, so whatever the application which is present in the service now, by using this instance, they will give you a separate copy. You need not to install any kind of softwares again. So by using this instance, you can do certain changes based upon your requirements. by the client requirements, and whatever the developments you are going to do, you are going to do in that personal development instance only. So now we understood what is meant by service now and what is meant by ITSM. ITSM is nothing but a cloud based tool that helps the companies to manage and automate IT services from creation to support. Okay, so it's a cloud based tool. So it is a cloud based tool that helps organizations or companies to manage and automate IT services from creation to support. So, what is meant by creation to support? Same way again, I took a laptop and I started working in a project. All of a sudden, an incident happens like I am unable to connect to the network. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise a ticket stating that, hey, I am unable to, you know, connect into the network. So this is a high priority, no, and it needs to be resolved immediately. So this is I gonna clearly write down like what is my problem, what is the problem needs when the problem needs to be resolved, and what is the impact, and what is the priority, like priority one, two, three, high priority or low priority or moderate priority, and we're gonna raise the ticket. So this ticket will be routed to the concerned department. Okay, these network issues will be generally taken care by the networking department guy. So whoever is in charge in that particular time, they will be connecting and they will be getting resolved it. Once the resolve is completed, they close the ticket. So we get the support from the concerned team, right? So this is how it's gonna work. And instance is nothing but a complete copy. It contains all the softwares, all the applications which are developed by the service now. Okay. So now we are going to create PDI, which is called Personal Developer Instance. Okay. So here by using this, we are going to, you know, practice, login and practice service now on day-to-day basis, right? So uh, please create a new Gmail ID. Please do not use your personal, or because you will be getting lot of notifications or some other stuff, right? So when you are going to practice service now, it's always recommended to go and create a new Gmail ID, any Gmail ID, your personal ID like Gmail or Yahoo or anything else. Okay, and please do not use your official email IDs as well. So if you are working in any organization, you will be getting the official email ID, right? So please do not use that email ID. Use your only personal Gmail ID, for this account creation. So once the Gmail ID has been created, so we need to go and use the URL developer dot servicenow dot com. So every time we need to go into this URL. Okay, we need to go into this URL and log in into the account, right? So I'm going to show you. So as soon as we go developer dot servicenow.com. So this is how it's going to work. Look, okay. So if you already have all the information, if you have the login credentials, you can directly go into the sign in. Okay, and new user get the service ID. Click on here. So here you are going to give the new email ID which you have created. It's in my case at gmail.com. Okay, first name I'm gonna say Gautam, last name just B. So you're gonna give the country India, select state. So I think you can give I'm not a robot. I understand and sign up. So your email ID will be getting an authorization email to check whether you know you need to go there and create it. So here we got it, right? We need to verify it. So verify this email. You will be redirected. So from very next time, so do you know? Yes, here what you need to give is accept and proceed. Here select like yes, I need a developer oriented IDE. Okay, click on next. So what's the best? What best describes your responsibilities? Here go and give like developer, admin, and designer. Give all. Click on it and finish setup. Okay. So once you log in into the service now, this is how it looks like. Okay. So here, what we are supposed to do, we need to request the instance. This is a one-time activity. Okay. So once we request the instance, once we request the instance, it takes some time. Okay, guys. So once we request the instance, once the instance has been allotted, this is how it looks like. The status is online, the build agent is installed, ServiceNow Studio is installed, App Engine Studio is installed, and the current version of ServiceNow is Zurich. Okay, so every year ServiceNow comes up with a new version. So in each and every version, we will be having new add-ons, new features will be available. Okay, so the current version which we are using is Zurich. The previous version is Yokohama. Okay, so every year a new version comes up mostly from the service now. So once the instance has been allotted to us, this is how it looks like. Okay, and the instance ID is dev315358. This is what which has been allotted to me. So if you are going to create, a new service now PDI account, a new PD, instance number will be allotted to you, but everything remains the same. Okay. So now go into this manage my instance. Okay. So this is the ID instance URL. It has been allotted to me. Suppose if you are creating a new instance ID will be created allotted to you. The number changes like the same thing but the number changes something like this would be look. So for each and everyone a new instance will be allotted by the service now where we can practice it on day-to-day basis. So this is going to be the instance URL and the username is admin. Okay, and this is the current password, and you can change this password if required. Okay, you can change the password, reset the instance password, email login credentials can be changed. Okay, and manage email properties, everything can be changed here. Okay, so now again you can refresh this instance. And one more thing, guys, very important. If you don't use this instance, it will go into the sleep mode. So what is recommended is like at least try to log in once in a day into this instance. If you don't log in, this instance will be going into the sleep mode. Again, you need to wake it up. It will go into the hibernation and you need to wake it up. Okay. So what's recommended is like at least try to log in into your personal developer instance at least once in a day on daily basis, so that if you don't log in into a certain period of time, there is a possibility of losing this instance. Okay, losing this instance. So again you can recommend, ask for a new instance. Okay, but whatever the development and whatever the changes which you have worked in this instance, you will be losing it. Okay, so here click on the button actions. So release the instance. So for some reason you don't like this instance. Okay, and you want to release the instance. These are the options which you have. Select one and release the instance. The instance will be gone. The instance will be gone. Again, you can request for a new instance. Okay, change user role. So by default, we should have admin. Okay. So if you have admin role, you will be pretty much accessible to everything in ServiceNow. If you want to change it, you can change it, but it is not recommended at this point. Okay. So you should definitely have the admin role and remove demo data. So I'll let you know what is meant by demo data. Click on start building here. So one second, it takes some time for the very first time. So what is meant by demo data? So what is meant by demo data is like ServiceNow provides you some data which is used for learning purpose, for practice purpose. Okay, I'll show you guys. So here click on, this is how ServiceNow Studio looks like. Okay, so click on all. You can pin it if you want it. Okay, and if you click on users, Able Tutor, Abraham Lincoln, all these are users. So we did not create it, right? So there are 632 users, right? So all this is demo data which has been given to us from the service now for practice purpose. So it's always recommended to install any plugin by using demo data if you are practicing. Okay, reset and wipe instance. Okay, so if you want to reset the instance, so everything will be lost and a new instance will be, it looks like a pretty much new instance, which is not recommended. You will lose everything, whatever the development which you have done, everything will be gone and it would look like a new instance. Okay, and view history. So here, so let's say suppose if you have released an instance. Okay, and you requested for a new instance, all the history will be there if you do that regarding the instances and everything. So this is nothing but the demo data which has been given to us from the service now. So this demo data helps us to practice and learn. Okay, and plugins, there are close to 46 plugins, right? So what are meant by plugins? So whenever you are learning service now, you need to install plugins. If you are trying to learn about cloud management, then you should go and activate plugin. If you are willing to learn discovery in itom, you are supposed to activate with demo data. So okay, and if you are going for software asset management, you should activate it. And you need not to activate any ITSM, it comes by default. Okay, no plugin needs to be activated. If you are learning ITSM module, it comes by default. So there are close to 46 plugins, like event management, it's a separate module. Okay, event management services, it's a separate module. So ITOM, which is used for operations, ITSM roles, okay, and orchestration. So all these things, needs to be activated, but you need not to install any ITSM. It comes by default in your PDI. So this is how the basic looks like. The ServiceNow Studio looks like. So we're gonna discuss more about, uh, explore more about this working studio. So we'll try to learn we'll try to learn the terminology, like what each and everything is called, specification, what is this search bar called, you know how to search, what is these things applications are called, what are called modules, everything will be discussing what is this filter is called. Okay, so in the next class mostly. So this is how it's going to work. So first of all, what we learned about the service now, what is meant by service now. Okay, what is meant by ITSM, what is meant by instance, and we try to create a PDI account. So please don't use your personal, office or official email IDs. Kindly use your personal email IDs. And people also, please do create a LinkedIn with the same email ID if you are in USA. So it will be helpful for you guys. Like once we go into the job market and start looking for new opportunities. So nowadays each and everyone is asking for LinkedIn profiles, right? So if you are in USA, it's better recommended. If you have any old LinkedIn ID, that's fine. If you don't have, so try to create it as soon as possible. So we'll discuss more why it is used, where it is used, and everything. Okay. So we learned about the PDI creation. So please go ahead and create a PDI, personal developer instance. And once it is created, this is how it is going to look. Okay, the current version by default you will be getting Zurich. Okay, so if you want to install previous versions, go there, go to the actions, release instance. You can release the instance. Okay, one second, I'll show you. So release the instance. Again, you need to request the instance, right? So here it will be asking you, like, do you want to go with the Zurich or Yokohama or Xanadu? So whichever one you want, you can try to install it. You can request it. So after some time, the instance will be allotted. So the instance ID we discussed, the admin, the username is admin, and the password will be different for each and everyone, right? And if you don't use your instance regularly, there is a chance of losing it. So mostly it will go into the sleep mode. Again, you need to wake it up. Okay, if you don't use for a very long time, the instance will be gone forever. So whatever the changes, whatever the applications which you have developed in your PDI, you will be losing it. So it is always recommended to practice it ServiceNow, or else just open the ServiceNow PDI at least once in a day. Okay, so this is for the day two, guys. So please create your PDI accounts. Tomorrow we are going to discuss more about the ServiceNow Studio and the user administration. Okay, the basics of user administration. Okay, so thank you, guys. That's it for today. We'll be connecting tomorrow.